Hello,
Hello
everybody.
there. How's everybody doing?
Doing good. Welcome to our show. This is the Jedi Archives Bad Batch After Show. My name's John.
I'm Bryce, and filling in for Mike is Omega.
Yes, probably get better information from Mega, better takes from Omega than Mike. So
Oh no, we went there.
I don't know if she'll like her squeeze Omega juice, but but yeah. This we had two episodes, right? It's episodes.
Two. Yep.
Five,
Infiltration and extraction.
was it 6 and 7 or 5 and 6? I think it was 6 and 7, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 6 and 7.
What are your initial thoughts, sir?
Very good. I'm very intrigued by a couple different things that came up through the episode. Of the Shadow Troopers, as we now know them. They're or Shadow Clones. Shadow Troopers, I think, is what they had.
Shadow. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
and we see one get captured, which kind of leads to a bigger story. We obviously know Crosshair was heavily involved in that, and now I feel like everyone that is saying there's more that you're not telling us is absolutely correct. There's definitely something more going on with him than yeah, I don't know. There's definitely something more going on.
Yeah, to me, this episode advances the story quite a bit. Ask a lot of questions and gives purpose. If you remember a week or two ago, I'm like, what's the Bad Batches? They got Omega. What's their purpose? Why do they even have a show after they got Omega? But now they find out that's pretty much she's going to be target number one. So they have to find out why they want her. So that's the purpose of the show for them. And then we're going to have all these other things like what's Crosshair has to do with them. Obviously, he recognized a clone. And how hard is it to recognize a clone? You got to spend some time with that clone. So he recognized him immediately, and the clone recognized him. So there's that going on. Just got a lot of clones, and we got some cameos that we haven't seen in a while. We'll talk about that when we get there. But I'm glad it definitely moved the story along a lot for me. So it's really
100%.
Yeah. So where did we start? Oh, we started off on Rex's base, right? That's where we started off with because we started off. We got to see the senator. That's where we started off.
Yeah, we're back seeing Senator Singh.
Yeah, so that was really cool to see them.
Yeah, so it's obviously the second time we've seen Rex look out for her. And I drawn a blank on her name, but yeah, it was interesting to see because we had obviously we had the one Shadow Trooper that was following them, and that's obviously when he got caught. But they were having a secret meeting, kind of felt like, hey, we need to fight back against the Empire. We have the same enemy, even though the visuals during the Clone Wars weren't the same. Obviously, the one planet that Singh was on was obviously a separatist planet, but now they both want their independent freedom. So then there's an alignment there. But then obviously that meeting gets interrupted with an assassination attempt.
It really kind of tells you more about what the whole separatists, they just want to be kind of, obviously the figureheads are doing to create chaos, but a lot of the planets just wanted to be separatists. And kind of not that different from what a rebel is. Want to just leave us alone. So it's kind of like they're these perceived villains in the prequels, but really it's like they're the ones morphing into the Rebel Alliance kind of. So it's really interesting that you see that. So I like that they said that. So
and he was on the bounty puck too. It was a first name, and then the Omega showed up, and then that's when the whole thing kicks off.
They were able to capture that first clone rather easily. I'm kind of surprised on that. You just stunned him. But I guess it helped further the story. But
they hit him a couple times, but yeah, they definitely had a plan, knew where where he was going to escape, and
Yeah,
you
just
know,
wait.
little scout speeder jump up and then he's down.
Yeah. So then we're interrogating them, and nothing, like perfect cone of silence, man.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted nothing. And I like that they like scanned him for tracking devices or anything, but you hear later on, Crosshair says they're tracking him. You just don't know how they're tracking him. So I kind of like that. They have some technology so advanced that you can't like scan for it. So I like that. So it's like these guys are really important to know what they're about. But almost immediately, you go back to like their base where I guess clones working for the Empire is like neutralize them.
Mm-hmm.
But they get introduced into this new shadow, whatever we want to call them. Shadow
Right. They said, "Why have I been activated?" Right? Like, why have I been activated? So I was kind of like, okay,
that line's
sets him
so
apart.
Interesting. It's not like, what are my orders? It's like, why have I been activated? So I'm like, what does that mean? Why have I been activated? Does that mean he's been she, whatever, is in status, like knocked out, or they're doing just a regular clone trooper, or they're maybe not even a clone trooper, doing something else. But like,
right, yeah.
Why have I been activated? It's like, it's different than what are my orders. It's like, that's interesting. So it was really kind of caught me off guard, that line. So I don't know if we're going to address it later on, or it's just going to be like, what is really him saying, what are the orders? But I mean, I'm just going to say it. Everyone's kind of wondering who this guy is.
Right.
So yeah. I'm sure everyone has the same theories, but I hope it's not. That'd be kind of weird.
Right.
Tech, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Is that who you think it is?
I don't know. I mean, Sarah's still convinced it's him. Because they kind of synthesizes his voice.
They hide it on purpose, yeah.
But my point to that was we didn't even hear the other one talk until his mask was off, so we don't know if that's just standard, procedure. Like all their voices sound the same. They're synthesized, so they don't know that they're clones. Period. So that was my only take on that.
Yeah, it's almost like how we all thought with like Ahsoka and Maruk. Like, who's Maruk? Who's Maruk? I'm like, is this too obvious that it's tech? But it is a cartoon, it is a kid show, and it's so obvious that it should be a. They could do a one, and it's nothing. It could be what was it, a ghost fart, like how Maruk was?
Yeah. Well, yeah. When at the end of the second episode, like that was very predictable. This particular Shadow Trooper definitely has a bigger story to tell. And I almost felt like the reason Crosshair stayed behind wasn't so much more for getting them out of there, but I think it was like, I got to get rid of this guy before he spills the beans on what I was doing on Mount Tantus.
Really, I didn't get that at all. I thought he was being very parental, just protecting Omega.
He definitely was doing that, so but maybe I'm wrong. But it just it was weird, because once this clone trooper says, "Why don't he looks up, he goes, "Why don't you ask him?" He's like, "We got to get out of here." There was something off about that. So
I think it's a storytelling device to make the other clone trooper. I can't remember his name. What was his name? Waves or something? The other clone trooper that didn't trust him. I forgot his name.
Oh, that's Hauser.
Bowser?
Hauser.
Okay.
Hauser.
Yeah. So he obviously doesn't trust Crosshair. So I think these are just storytelling devices to make him get even more concerned, and maybe there's going to be like a tipping off point where he's going to try and really physically confront him.
I don't know,
because I think when Crosshair saw him, he's like, this guy is being tracked, and they're going to be here any minute, so we got to get out of here right now. Not so much I have to get in to hide information. He could still have some really dark secrets he doesn't want to get out.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I don't think he's. I think if he is, he's hiding them because of shame, not because he's still working for the Empire. So
yeah, that's definitely a possibility too. I just thought it was, he knew this, I almost felt like, because he's like, knew this shadow trooper, he's like, they got tracking devices that are undetectable. And the way I kind of approached that is like, he's definitely was hiding something for sure, but he also knew the urgency of getting out of there like right now.
Yeah.
So it was just, I don't know. I could see it go both ways. I'm hoping it's the redemption arc, and part of me thought like this might have been his moment, his sacrificial moment too.
No. It's way
Well,
too
they
soon.
almost kind of like did it when he was
But
underwater,
I
and he
thought
kind of
he
like,
choked him out underwater. I was like, oh, he just died.
right? I was like, what? No way!
It's pretty brutal way to go too, like on camera, just like underwater choke. Like, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
He went out. It's not like as you're struggling, he got saved. He lights out. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a little brutal. I think down the road, though, they're gonna have some kind of conflict resolution where it gets what really happened. I need to know what really happened, and Crosshair kind of maybe has a flashback or something, tells the story, tells us through a flashback or something like that, and we learn a lot more, and we learn his connection with these shadow operatives.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping we get that in the next episode, because obviously they all left together on well, I guess it's Echo's ship. I just gonna throw it that way because he seems to be the one that pilots it all the time. But obviously they lost pretty much everybody.
Ooh, yeah, they literally said, "Oh, your numbers have grown," and then it's like 3 of them leave. I was like, ugh. Mm-hmm. That's a little brutal.
But there could have been more back there that were still in the facility that didn't go to the extraction point and also lived.
Maybe
possibility,
like but the reason why he sent Commander Wolf and the other clone troopers is because they were the closest. I think knowing Omega was there, there's a lot more on its way, like a Star Destroyer 2, and like they got a full recon crew. So if anyone did live, they're probably captured now. I'm sure they combed that thing. I mean, not only do you have like a rebel cell of clones, Omega was there. So I'm sure it's getting picked through all the way by Garrison. So, but yeah, it was super cool to see Wolf. I absolutely love that. That's really cool. He's one of the ones that survived into Rebels, right? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's him, Rex, and Gregor.
So I knew that, and I honestly thought as they went onto their ship, it's like, well, maybe these clones follow them onto his ship, or take their ship and follow them, kind of like join their cause at that point. But
yeah, I'm sure there's another run in at some point, or it could happen when let's say Hemlock, shows up or something.
Well, he was a little shocked when he saw that they were clones. They like, these are clones. It sounds like
right, not insurgents. Yes, he said these are not insurgents; these are clones.
Yeah.
So I think something set him off there, and then having that conversation with Rex, he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna let you go, even though it's against orders. And that might be the flipping point too, is like how his squad's handled or whatever, because he doesn't have he's got a half and half squad. He's got clones, he's got a commando, and then he had some stormtroopers.
I kind of thought like the 2 ships, one was clones, one was stormtroopers, and the stormtrooper one went down. Maybe I was wrong, but that's what I kind of
the stormtrooper one did go down, yes.
No, so each ship was just one was clones. And
no, because
was it mixed? I couldn't.
It was mixed as far as Commander Wolf's ship was, because he did have the one rebel commando, which was like his right hand person. Then he had clones, and then he did have stormtroopers. Because remember, one said something to him at the end of the episode about letting him go or whatever. That was actually a stormtrooper, and you could tell that they, it was a stormtrooper voice and all that good stuff. So
I'm really surprised they still employ or deploy that many clone troopers. I thought at this point they would have already bottled them all up and thrown them into tangents.
Yeah, I think that's kind of. I think in the next couple episodes, I think that's when we probably see Wolf and whatever clones he has probably join up with Rex and or it could become later when they're actually going to Mount Tantus. Obviously, that's still the mystery that they need to solve. Is
he could be the cavalry, him and his troops. Remember, there's an episode called
Cavalry. Correct. It could be the cavalry. Yes.
So, I guess the other thing I really wanted to talk about, we talked about already, was how much of a bond Crosshair and Omega have made. Holy moly, man! They're almost more than Hunter.
The toothpicks.
Yeah, he's definitely become like a parental figure for her, which is cool. So, I mean, you spend a lot of time with someone in a bad situation. He definitely built a bond. So I really enjoyed that. I've definitely seen a different guy, different person of him. And there's a scene where they ask Crosshair, why did he change? And he laid it all out. He didn't like try and hide it behind anything.
Right.
He said, I valued loyalty, and I realized that the Empire didn't share that same loyalty to me. And
right.
It's really interesting because they decided to keep his helmet on when he said that. And I thought that was a decision because having that conversation probably elicited a lot of emotion, and they didn't really want to show it on his face. So they hid it behind his helmet. So I thought that was really interesting. So I really enjoyed that part. This whole episode, I loved everything about Crosshair, and I kind of hated Crosshair in the beginning. So I really enjoying what they're doing with him right now. Almost Hunter and Wrecker, almost like background characters right now. Like it's Omega and Crosshair, like their season. So it's really interesting that they did that. But if you remember, last season it was very heavily Tech, and they killed off Tech. So it could be very similar this season.
Yeah, very much so, sir. My dog's being anti-Jedi today.
Mine's being good. A little bit.
Leave it. Yeah.
Dog's the best. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's all over the place right now.
I guess, do you have any other thoughts on that? The episodes?
Like I said, it's just interesting, like what more does Crosshair know? Because I don't think he's still. Oh yeah, actually, sorry. There is something, because if you noticed, like how Crosshair's still got the handshake, right? And for a quick second, they focused in on that Shadow Trooper hand, and his hand was shaking too.
Well, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so to me it was like they focused, because who was sitting there looking at him? Was it Hauser or Rex? I think it was Hauser that was sitting next to the Shadow Trooper. They went to his hand, and for a brief second you could see it. So whatever they were doing to Crosshair is also what they were doing there. So I'm thinking I think they were using Crosshair's DNA, his clone DNA, to then make more Shadow Troopers. Because notice they're also snipers.
I did notice this guy's a really good sniper. This secondary one, like there's like a sniper battle, which is pretty cool. You don't usually see that in Star Wars. So
right. So to me, it's interesting that he definitely plays a bigger part into the whole story. But then there's a lot that Crosshair's not saying.
There was they said they wipe their identity, so they go through even more brain blending and kind of fry their brain even more. So I can see how that could cause tremors. But he said it didn't work on him. It didn't take on him. He goes, why? Because I'm defective.
Right.
That's pretty cool. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So I'm like, that also tells me it's like maybe they couldn't do that to Tech because Tech is defective as well. So maybe Tech isn't that bad. So maybe clones of a defective clone isn't that far-fetched. So
right, yeah.
Questions. Yeah.
Well, that's why they couldn't execute Order 66 either, because they were like, what is this?
Yeah.
And I mean, Crosshair had made a decision at that point. He had been, they hadn't been playing around with his
Yeah.
implant. And it took what? I mean, Wrecker kept just hitting his head so hard that it finally like triggered that for him. So, yeah, interesting. I mean, it's not to say they couldn't if they were to find tech and somehow he survived a 10,000-foot fall.
Yeah.
That they couldn't.
Mace Windu did.
Even without a hand, like you can still force stop yourself jumping out the window. So
Well, you can land on a big branch. I mean, it was kind of like a forest protection.
not in Kurdistan.
But no, we're talking about tech. You could have landed on some big leaves. Was it like on Avatar, like bouncing from leaves to leaves to land? He could have done something like that.
Right.
Yeah. What are your final thoughts on this episode, sir?
Yeah, I would agree with you. It definitely advanced the story quite a bit in the 2 episodes, and it really felt like the 2 episodes were just one big episode. We just happened to get credits in between and an intro. I think they flowed really well together. I think things are going to accelerate because we only have 9 episodes left. 16, right? And we just finished 7.
Yeah, 15 or 16. So yeah.
Yeah, so they really got to I think this is the jump start. So
yeah, really excited. Obviously, I think they're really pushing it forward. This might be the final stretch. Like this is the final storyline. There might be one more. This could be one.
Yeah, it's true.
But
I have a feeling there's probably another one. I think that's probably going to focus on Crosshair, and then we're going to see the forces come together and see what happens on Mount Tantus.
Yeah, it was also cool to see. Cool, but kind of also why. But Omega with their electric crossbow.
Oh yeah. Like, we're always wondering like how that was going to play out, and I didn't think it was going to be something so simple as, "Hey, Echo." Echo goes, "Hey, I made this for you."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, okay, we got that explanation from the poster now."
It's just at that point. I mean, I guess it's the same thing with Chewbacca, but just get a blaster, right?
Right.
Just get this huge profile, and all it does is shoot at lasers. I'm like, might as well just get a blaster at that point. But it does look really cool. I will have to say that. I guess the bowcaster does do other things. Like it shoots wide range and powerful, but
yeah.
But yeah, that was really kind of cool. It almost, but the one thing about it that sucks, I noticed, it's like a target. When she's hiding around those things, and she's this bright glowing streak. That's where I'm shooting.
Right. Yeah.
Probably would have blacked that. I mean, it's a cartoon, but yeah, it's definitely a target. But yeah, really enjoying it right now. Can't wait to see the next. Can't wait to hear what Mike has to say. Anything, Mike? Anything? No?
Mike. Oh, wow.
So yeah,
Mike.
I'm sure Mike has his notes right now. He's watching. He goes, "Oh, talk about this. What about this, guys? What about this, guys?"
Oh yeah, I can't wait to. He just said he was going to watch it, so he's going to be up and watch the show and go. Okay, guys.
In that spirit,
you guys missed this, or hey, you guys did really good here. So I'll wait to see what the report card says.
Well, Mike, if you have anything to say, I don't want to hear it. I want to read it in the comments. Mike.
Oh yeah, Mike. Yeah, we'd love to respond to the comments.
See if you can jumpstart some conversation in our comments.
There we go.
By the way, please comment on our videos. Like, subscribe. Please comment. We love hearing it. Mike loves hearing it. So please comment on with our videos. We really enjoy it. Do you give these ones a rating at all or anything?
I mean, yeah, I would give them. I gotta combine it. I can't really give them each individual because it was one. Like I said, it was like one big story. But for me, with the intrigue and everything like that, what we got, where it's going, I still would probably give it a 4.5 out of 5.
That's good. I'm going to also give it a 4.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I really like what they're doing with Crosshair, and it really moved the story along for me. I like it, and I love seeing clones. I love seeing Rex. I love seeing Wolf, and give me more of that. And I also really love the Republic Commandos. I know pretty much all the Republic Commandos right now are still Empire Commandos, I guess you want to call it, but I really enjoy them. So whenever I get them, but I just love all those clones and the storylines. This is where we're taking off. I feel like we got Omega, move forward to the main storyline. So this is the first step, and they're really making a good character to Crosshair, and I'm really enjoying what they're doing to Crosshair. But like I said earlier, I think they're making a really good character out of him because they're going to kill him. He's going to make some ultimate sacrifice for Omega or Hunter. Actually, I'm going to say this. That's my prediction. So right at the end, Hunter is going to try and make this heroic sacrifice to save everyone. And then last second, Crosshair kind of pushes him off side, and he does the heroic sacrifice. So Hunter lives because of what Crosshair does.
I think there's going to be more than just one big sacrifice.
It's going to be rough to watch, man. I mean, that's my biggest complete issue right now with the High Republic stuff. Stop killing off my heroes.
Right, exactly.
I know it's rough, man. So I was like,
Kevin Scott.
Yeah, I can deal with one sacrifice. We already got the one, so one more. But there's multiple ones. It's gonna be rough. Hauser is not gonna make it. I already know that, but we know Wolf and Rex are. So we'll see.
And Gregor. Well, but yeah, we don't know what happens to some of these other ones. Like, like if it's indeed just them three, then you could say Omega doesn't make it, Crosshair doesn't make it, Wrecker doesn't make it.
Omega doesn't.
Hunter doesn't make it. Hauser doesn't make it. Echo doesn't make it. Like, there's a lot of potential there if you just go based off what clones show up in Rebels, but there could be more. They just decide, hey, we're gonna go this route. Maybe they'll go back to that same planet, but then Rex and Gregor and Wolf say, this isn't really for us. We're gonna, forge our own path and do something completely different. Like, how do they get the ATTE anyway? How do they get that? Like,
I don't know if we're gonna get those answers that are in Rebels. I don't know if we're gonna see those three guys go off because there could be more adventures in between.
Right, which would be cool. I think would be kind of cool is if they could, do. I would do a show of how Captain Rex comes away from this, and it just focuses on Captain Rex and what he does up until Rebels.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool. One season.
Actually, I want to see what Rex does between now and Return of the Jedi. That's what I want to see. It's a different point of view. I would love that.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of kind of the gripe is with Ahsoka. Where was she this whole time? So I kind of would like to see that different point of view. Maybe he's doing something out with Ahsoka off somewhere else. So I think that'd be really cool. But I do predict only one more of our main heroes die. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not wrong because it's going to be rough. If more, it's going to be a little rough. But
yeah, I think it's more than one. I hate to say it. It feels there's a lot of doom and gloom, but I think you're also going to get on a real high positive note as well. So
I think they live happily ever after on that planet.
It would be cool. I mean, that would absolutely be cool.
Wrecker, Omega, and one of the two dads. So I think that's how it ends up. I think, but we will see.
Yeah,
all right,
for sure.
Please like and subscribe to our Virtual Cantina channel. This is where you get all our content. There is plenty more shows besides us just rambling around about this. Actually, really good shows on the Virtual Cantina. Please like, subscribe. Please also follow the Star Wars Book Nerd and Star Wars. What's the other one called? Can't read it.
Comic Book Club.
All right, please follow. And obviously, cell phones. It's real small.
Right.
Yeah. please join those groups. They're awesome groups for all kinds. I'm in both of them. I use them for. Brice really takes charge of the comic one. He's the one where I always get my information on all my variants. So really enjoy that. And we also have a show where me, Brice, and Omega here talk about comics every other Sunday. So I have one of those.
We got a couple coming. We got one coming up this week on Sunday. So,
and I really enjoy the input Omega gives her takes on these comics. So
yes, we appreciate you, Omega. We will definitely have you back again.
And we miss Mike. I know.
We do miss Mike.
You tease him, but we do miss Mike, and we can't wait to get him back. Hopefully, we get him back next week.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. May the force be with you, and thank you for watching.
May the force be with you.